What up, everybody in the YTBC? I'm not going to do my usual shout outs, and you understand why in a second. I'm just on my positive shit right now, feeling real good. I don't know why I'm up so early, but since I can't sleep, but I'm in a good mood. Even if I wasn't in a good mood, I should still try to be productive. But I just figured I'd be very productive, put some positive energy out there on a day-to-day basis. We just deal with too much negativity. Sometimes we just let that be our focus, and we have to make a conscious effort not to let that be our focus. We got to focus on what's positive, focus on the good things in life, focus on our family, focus on our loved ones, significant others, and the list goes on and on. And I have a lot to be thankful for. Let me go ahead and start off with this. Lately, I'm sure everybody has noticed that I always shout out the UGC and hashtag come back to boxing. So let me go ahead and get into that. First off, let me just start with hashtag come back to boxing. When I first started this channel on YouTube, that is my humble beginnings. I was a commenter, just watching boxing videos, and Jay Cotto. I know most of y'all, most of my subscribers are familiar with Jay Cotto. He was very encouraging to me, and I just felt that I could, bring something to the table when it comes to talking boxing. So, as a result, I made this channel, and Jay Cotto's been there from the very beginning. And you never forget where you came from. So, since then, Jay Cotto, he still makes boxing videos, but he also talks a lot about Star Wars, and I ain't knocking that. I've never really been into Star Wars, but I'm into shit that I'm sure people don't understand why I'm into that, that stuff. So, hey, Jay Cotto, you're passionate about the Star Wars community. I commend you. He's started doing this podcast called the Male Toxicity Podcast. Where they just basically, from what I gather, it's just basically talking a lot about society, has nothing to do with actual male toxicity. That's just the name of the podcast, but it can be quite entertaining to listen to, and I recommend, anybody just check it out. They talk about all kinds of stuff on there. And he has a solid panel there. The chat always seems to be pretty respectful, and they seem to be cool people. I don't know them that well. Jay Cotto obviously knows them a lot better than I do. But whenever I'm in there, they're always very welcoming, even though I'm not. Like, I think he met a lot of them through the Star Wars community. But big ups to Jay Cotto. By the way, this is mostly a shout out video. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. But as far as I know, another dude that is, I don't really know many other people who are involved in hashtag come back to boxing, but I do know that JR the Boxing Junkie is also part of the hashtag come back to boxing. He was actually a subscriber of mine first before he started his channel. I let everybody be known once he started his channel, and I know a lot of people say a lot of shit about JR. Listen, people make mistakes. People it's not the people who make mistakes you got to watch out for. It's the people who don't learn from those mistakes you got to watch out for. And I know JR has said some stuff that he probably shouldn't have said, but the fact of the matter is he came out and he apologized, and I haven't, to my knowledge, he hasn't reverted. He hasn't said anything like what he said. And, there's some people who, well, he should never said that in the first place. Listen, I'm sure we've all done things that after we did it, we feel like, man, I shouldn't have done that. But guess what? We don't have the ability to change the past. We only have the ability to shape our future. So big ups to JR, the boxing junkie. So, like I said, I'm sure everybody has noticed as of late, I've been shouting out the UGC. That is just a tight community of brothers and sisters, really. I mean, we don't have any females currently who make videos or do streams in the name of the UGC, but there's definitely some supporters, and I think that they bring a lot to the table, but as far as content creators in the UGC, I just really want to shout out these dudes. Jalik, the leader, me and him, we disagree immensely on boxing, but you know what? He's a genuine dude. And at the end of the day, no matter how much we disagree on boxing topics, I can agree with this dude on so much when it comes to life, and that's the thing about Jalik. He's more than just boxing. Just like Jay Cotto, he's more than just boxing as well, talking about the, current topics in the male toxicity. Same thing with Jalik. Jalik does a stream almost every night. And sometimes it's about health. Sometimes it's about relationships. Sometimes it's about having confidence in yourself. I mean, this dude covers so many deep topics, and he does it almost every night. The only time that Jalik typically doesn't do a stream on some real shit is usually if he's going to a boxing match. He was there at the J-Rock Hurd match, for instance, so being out there, he didn't do his usual stream, but he's pretty dedicated. He's pretty consistent. I got to give it to Jalik. That's my boy. Got to give it up to Unbiased. Unbiased. It's funny. I started calling him my twin because when UGC Boxing Channel does his streams, is usually sometime in the morning. And if me and Unbiased are on the stream at the same time, for some reason, people can't tell us apart. They say we sound alike. I don't think we do, but apparently everybody else does. Because there's been plenty of times where Unbiased says some shit that people were like, "Oh, Red Glove, that was a great thing you said." And I'm like, I can't take credit for that. That's Unbiased. Unbiased is very thorough. When he debates, he aims for the head. All right, he's I was about to say something about Endgame. I better not say that because I'm sure there's still some people who haven't seen it. But yeah, he aims for the head. He don't play no games. He don't pull no punches. If he disagrees with you, he's gonna go to the straight to the bottom line of what he disagrees with you on. And I suggest everybody subscribe to him, because when he uploads content, it's good content, in my opinion, in my very biased opinion. I gotta give a big shout out to this dude. This dude has really shown me a lot of love as of late. He's been like, I don't know how else to put it, but I gotta give it up to Mr. 214 or 214, Mr. IOTBA. Any of y'all who know IOTBA, you know that he scrolls through his articles and he gives you his honest perspective. Now, to be honest, there's been times where I disagree with him. But you know what? IOTBA is a man. He doesn't he doesn't call you out your name. He doesn't, tell you off or anything like that just because you have a difference in opinion. And I gotta give big respect to IOTBA. He also does streams on a regular. I suggest anybody who is subscribed to me, if IOTBA goes live, I suggest going to his live. He will interact with you. He, a lot of times he'll be in a boxing gym showing you, people training and shit. And, he spits his point of view, and if you disagree with him, he might come at you a little bit, but it's always out of love though, and he ain't gonna come at you sideways. He's just gonna be very blunt about situations, but he's also very fair and balanced. Like, he's a big Errol Spence fan, but he gives Keith Thurman his props. He gives Keith Thurman more props than I do, and I'm a Keith Thurman fan. So that just tells you what kind of boxing fan IOTBA is. Because I'm just gonna tell this real quick story. I'm not trying to spend too much time on anybody, but IOTBA, he's really been very cool with me, But we were talking, about Keith Thurman and how, we think Keith Thurman's fucking up, which I still think that, but there was something I really wasn't taking in consideration. And this is where Mr. IOTBA came in. He was like, hey, look, we got to give Keith Thurman his credit, because in the 22 months that he was inactive, nobody accomplished more than him. And you know what? He's right. Don't get me wrong. Terrence Crawford, coming to the welterweight division and beating Jeff Horn, and the defenses that he's had have been good ones. No, I'm not taking that away from him. But when you're talking about 22 months inactive and nobody else unified, and nobody else really outdid him as far as resume wise, I gotta take that in consideration. And that's Mr. IOTBA for you. And keep in mind, he's a Spence fan, but he still says that at this point in time, Keith Thurman is more proven. So big shout out to Mr. IOTBA. Corey Lee Boxing, another one I don't agree with all the time, but dude is stand up. He has a good sense of humor. So does Jalik, by the way. All these dudes really have good sense of humor. What the fuck am I talking about? But, Corey Lee, sometimes I get him laughing. Sometimes he gets me laughing. It's always good when he, joins us on the UGC, live streams. And, he just has a very good attitude, and he's going to give you his point of view just like anybody else. You're not always going to agree with it. But you know what? You show him support, he's going to show you love. And that's all there is to it. Angel Santos currently doesn't make videos. But that's my bro. He's always just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, Angel Santos is just a real dude. He knows how to talk that shit, but it's just real. Like, it's hard to argue with Angel, even when you disagree with him, because he's just, I don't know, he's just very thorough. And if I were y'all, I would subscribe to him just in case he uploads something, because he has made videos in the past. And just in talking with him, I could tell you, Angel drops gems. All right. Gotta give a big shout out to Trav FDY. Dude, very outspoken. A lot of times in the UGC streams, he's like, he says some shit and it's like, whoa, you know. But you know what? I understand where Trav FDY is coming from a lot of times. You know, he's just going to be extremely blunt with you. And he ain't being disrespectful. He's just being blunt. You know, he ain't calling nobody out their name or nothing. He's just, you know, when he feels a certain type of way about a boxer or somebody else in the community, he's going to let you know what's on his mind. But I'll just put you to this way. He's not disrespectful, but his words cut deep. That's the best way I could put it. Hamed 92, that dude has, this dude, I gotta say, man, he gives really good feedback. I mean, ever since me and him started interacting, he subscribed to my channel. I just subscribed to his as well. He right now, he's not really uploading his own content. But he more than likely will be doing that soon. But, one day he told me, I'm gonna watch all your videos. I'm like, nah, man, I got like over 450 videos. And, some of the early ones are kind of hard to listen to, in my opinion. I was like, you know, just check out some of the more recent ones. I appreciate it. And you know what? He gives really good, you know, he just gives feedback. Like, he ain't bullshit me. You know, some people be like, oh, I'm gonna watch all your videos, I'm gonna like all your videos, you know, all kinds of stuff. And then you never see them again, you know. But Hamed, like, he's legit, man. If he tells you he's gonna support you, it ain't no bullshit. He's gonna support you. Like anybody else, I don't agree with him on everything, but that's what makes the world go round. You know, I don't surround myself with yes men. So big shout out to Hamed 92, Iron Kong 26. This dude is so underrated. Like, it's a shame. I suggest anybody come across this video. You could like me or hate me, but Iron Kong, bro, this dude, he speaks real. He speaks from the heart, and it's not gonna be a waste of your time to watch his videos. And his videos ain't even long. I know sometimes I could be long-winded. I'm trying to cut the fat when it comes to when I make my videos. I know that kind of goes out the window with this one. But you notice lately my video's been a lot shorter, and that's because I'm trying to cut out all the rambling and all the bullshit, you know. But Iron Kong, he don't got that problem. Iron Kong 26, that is his YouTube channel. Check him out. Please subscribe to him, and encourage him. Because this dude, he lives in St. Kitts. Well, he's from there too, you know. He's not just living there, but he gives a very different perspective, you know. There's not many channels from the Caribbean islands that I know of making boxing content, so it's just another perspective, and he's wise. He's very wise. I don't know how old he is, but he's wise. And then for the UGC, last but certainly not least, is the owner of the UGC boxing channel, Black Horseman. This dude, I have so much respect for him. I mean, this dude is more than boxing. Definitely more than boxing. He has 3 YouTube channels. He just started his the third one not that long ago. And anything that he drops, it's gonna be real. I mean, on his first channel, Black Horseman Promotions, he used to talk boxing on there, and then decided he was gonna create a whole separate channel just for that. But on that channel, I mean, he talks a lot about the weird shit that goes on in Hollywood and real topics that just pertain to life. I mean, this dude made a video on just staying hydrated, and it was insightful. You know, I mean, this is the type of dude that Black Horseman is. He really looks out for people. And even though stay hydrated sounds like a very simple thing, you know, a lot of us probably don't drink as much water as we should. We drink all kinds of other junk. And, you know, he goes into he doesn't just say, oh, stay hydrated, like, subscribe, hit the bell. You know, he's telling, you know, he's going into the benefits. And even though the benefits should be common sense, the reality is these days, common sense, it just ain't that common. Then, of course, he got, he has his newest channel where he's kind of branched off, and he's just, I guess he wants to talk more about the real life shit on that channel, from what I can gather. I mean, he only has like 3 or 4 videos on that one, but everyone is a gem, you know. And then, of course, he got the UGC boxing channel, and he created that platform just so people don't have to put up with the bullshit. People can go on there. You can be in the chat and, you know, he sees that you're supporting him. He's going to show you love. And, he'll even invite you onto the panel, you know, just as long as you ain't trolling, you know. And I got a lot of respect for him. I got a lot of respect for his platform. And I mean, everybody in the UGC, they're solid. We have a hangout group, and we lift each other up in that group. A lot of times we talk boxing, but a lot of times we talk real shit that has nothing to do with boxing. Real shit, you know. Big shout out to Charles D, actually. I didn't put his name on this list, but he don't really make content, but he's always on the streams. And I mean, I got a lot of respect for that dude as well, so I can't believe I forgot to include him. But yeah, Black Horseman, he has a lot of my respect. I feel blessed to be a part of his platform, and I encourage everybody to check out all his channels. But if you're here just for boxing, definitely check out the UGC boxing channel. I was gonna include this dude in the UGC squad. Not that he isn't, because Black Horseman has already said that, you know, that this dude is welcome anytime, and that's Rasclot 222. But the reason why I had to separate him is because that is my boy from the MOBC, and I'm sure everybody here, under the sound of my voice, is pretty much familiar with, you know, his own boxing community. Rasclot, I got a lot of respect for him. He's always had my back. He's just a genuine dude. And if you want to know how to work out, he has a lot of calisthenics workout videos. So, you know, if that interests you, definitely subscribe to him. And I'm glad to see that he's making boxing content again, because, you know, there's been a couple times where he has also been fed up with the bullshit, and I can't blame him. I've persevered, but I can't blame people who are like, you know what, I'm gonna step away from this shit for a while. And in a sense, I've kind of done that a couple times where I just didn't upload. That happened earlier this year. So, you know, I can definitely sympathize and empathize with those who do that. But big shout out to Rasclot 222. DT3 the Boon Man is another dude that I fuck with. I think that he really brings a lot to the table. He gives his honest point of view. He also has somewhat of boxing community, the NBBC, non-biased boxing community. And although I'm not a part of that community, I recognize that community because those dudes seem to be pretty solid. But DT3, the Boon Man, specifically, is the face of that. And anytime I watch one of his streams or any of his videos, you know, I just feel like he's just being real. You know, whether I agree with it or not, it's just what he got to say is what he got to say, and he's just genuine. So, big shout out to DT3, the Boon Man. Bruce Vane, big shout out to him. You know, Bruce Vane is just very thorough. I mean, you really can't argue with him because he brings the receipts and he shoves them right in your face. He just puts it on the end of a boxing glove and punches you right in the face with that shit. Like, much respect to Bruce Vane. I'm definitely glad that he's branched out and started talking about other things other than AJ and Wilder. Not no shade toward him. It's just in the beginning, that is all he talked about. But in his defense, that's been a hot topic, and as of late, that's been a lot of what I talk about. And I'm trying to diversify my topics more right now, because I've noticed that myself. So it's not no shade toward him. It's just when there's a situation that we all see that we feel that needs to be addressed, sometimes it takes a lot of videos. But big shout out to Bruce Vane. And then you got Myron Magnus. Myron Magnus is a real cool dude. Speaks straight from the heart. I mean, just like anybody else, I don't agree with everything that he says, but I do agree with a lot. You know, I mean, one thing I don't agree with is he feels Jacobs was robbed, but you know what? Everybody got a right to their opinion, you know. But he seems to be really solid, you know, with talking about a lot of different topics in boxing and not in boxing. Myron Magnus is another one of these dudes who's more than boxing, just like Black Horseman Promotions and Jalik the Leader and Jay Cotto, you know, makes a lot of content that's not boxing related. Or I shouldn't say he makes a lot of content that's not boxing related, but he makes quite a bit. He'll drop a gem here and there that is just about life. So big shout out to Myron Magnus, the boxing librarian. I don't think he's done too many hangouts lately. I think he's just been uploading his catalog stuff. But I got a lot of respect for him. He has a lot of knowledge, especially about the past. You know, his knowledge of just the boxing history is just so vast. There's just so much to learn from him. And I just got a lot of respect for him. Michael Stott, dude, has been so supportive of me. And you know, whenever I'm able to, I catch his videos. But Michael Stott, you know, all I can say is, see, here's the thing. A lot of people, they're just so focused on people's point of view on boxing, and they just want to judge somebody's character just solely off of that. But boxing, to me, it's a hobby, and don't get me wrong, I'm passionate about talking about it, and I come here because there's not really anybody in my real life that I could talk to about boxing. But we also have to realize, you know, these commenters, these uploaders, these are people with families. These are people's brothers, fathers, uncles, nephews, and in some cases, mothers, sisters, nieces, and aunts. You know, these are people who have families. These are people who have jobs. These are people who have other interests. And this is just a small part of what they're interested in. This is a small part of who they are. And Michael Stott, you know, I got a lot of respect for him. And I feel terrible that I was supposed to have him on a hangout with me, and it ended up not working out just because my shit didn't want to cooperate. But hopefully soon I'll be doing streams, and I definitely want him to be on one. Kingdom of Boxing, man, this dude, another one who he supports me. He shows nothing but love. And, you know, like just today, I've been kind of MIA as of late. I've been uploading a little bit more now, and just he comes out of nowhere and just support, and I hope he uploads videos again. He has uploaded content in the past, so just a lot of respect to you, Kingdom of Boxing. Fox Strikes, this is another dude that inspired me to do boxing videos. He didn't encourage me outright. It's just I was enjoying his content, and I don't know, something about his content just made me feel like, you know what, I like what this guy's doing, and he makes it seem so easy. You know, unfortunately, Fox Strikes doesn't make all that much boxing content right now. He talks a lot about the Star Wars community, talks a lot about movies, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, talk about, it's YouTube, it's your channel, you talk about what you want to, but I still have a lot of respect for the Fox Strikes Back. Unrivaled Boxing Talk, aka McGregor. This is a dude that I've been interacting with as of late, and in a sense, he's kind of like boxing librarian, just has such vast knowledge. And you know what? I was on a stream with him not that long ago, and he was just like, you know, name a division and a sanctioning body, and I will tell you who the champion is. And we're talking about from the lowest to the highest division. And me and Tommy Temper, who I'm gonna mention a little bit, we were, you know, we gave him a couple, and this dude didn't miss a beat. Unrivaled Boxing Talk, he knows his shit. And it's crazy because somebody called him a casual, but yet that person calling him a casual only knows like 3 boxers. But yet, you run into McGregor, currently known as Unrivaled Boxing Talk. You run into him and you just ask him any division, any champion. Now we're talking about the champions, not, you know, regular belts and, you know, silver and gold and all this other bullshit. We're talking about the actual champions, and he can name any of them. IBF, WBA, WBC, who'd I miss? I guess, did I mention them all? He could probably even tell you the IBO. But yeah, Unrivaled Boxing Talk. He's a real one. NBT Boxing. This is a dude I wish would do more content, but when he does, it's always good. He's turned me on to a couple things. He actually turned me on to the last channel I'm gonna shout out here, but NBT, like I got nothing but respect for dude. Like NBT Boxing, he's just, when I interact with him, I feel like I'm talking to a friend. It's weird because I've never met him in real life. He lives in Australia, but conversation with him is just like, I don't know how else to put it, man. Me and him, we just click. And I just got a lot of respect for NBT Boxing. And he makes me want to do this more. Then we got Tommy Temper, who I mentioned before. I've been interacting with him a lot more lately. He's been coming to the UGC channels, showing support. Me and him, we talk in the chat a lot. He's even jumped on a stream or two with me, whether it be on UGC or the one time on Unrivaled, he was on there when Unrivaled, aka McGregor, was kind of flexing his knowledge. But I got a lot of respect for Tommy Temper. Here's a up and comer by the name of Hybrid 95. Definitely check him out. I mentioned him in my last video, and he seems to be solid. Every interaction with him, he's just very insightful. He doesn't waste a word, in my opinion. Like, his words always have some kind of meaning. You know, I know I ramble on a little bit sometimes. I don't take him for much of a rambler, and from what I can tell, he's just very solid, and he's up front. You know, he even said he hasn't been watching boxing all that long. What got him into boxing is playing boxing video games. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, if that's what got you into it, so be it. You know, there's people who got into boxing just from purely watching YouTube, and they won't admit it, but that's what it is. But much respect to Hybrid 95. Then we got Hardcore Casuals. This is another dude who's just severely underrated. Definitely check him out. Channel from the UK. Very insightful. And, I mean, I don't have a bad word to say about him or any of these other dudes, really. But, Hardcore Casuals, you know, whenever I can catch an upload, I make it a point to watch it and, encourage him to do more. And I encourage y'all to go check him out. Hardcore Casuals. And then last but not least is a channel called Bad Bart. And Bad Bart, he has a stream that he does. And it's on when he does them, they're on Mondays. I say when he does them just because as of late he hasn't been able to do them. Keep in mind, for a lot of us, we don't get paid to do this. That includes me. We do this purely out of passion. So, you know, he got things he got to prioritize over his boxing channel. But when he does do his live streams, they're on Mondays. I think it's at 8. It's either 7 or 8. I don't remember at this right off the top of my head. Eastern time, by the way. I know there's a lot of people in the world on different time zones. But Bad Bart, he's a cool dude, and I definitely recommend that everybody go subscribe to him. MBT Boxing turned me on to his channel. I was watching a live stream, and I got invited onto the panel right away, and it was really good boxing talk. It was right after the Canelo Jacobs fight. And I'm looking forward to him doing more of his live streams. So big shout out to Bad Bart. Now, if I didn't mention you, it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate you. These are just some of the individuals who have stood out to me as of recently, you know. But and this video is already almost 40 minutes long, so damn, I was hoping for it to be 10. But anyways, yeah, that's all I gotta say for right now. Please check out these channels. These are the dudes who've just been very impactful to me. And I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.